incredibly hot start. Russell Wilson threw 3 interceptions in last week's overtime loss to the Cardinals. But today, neither one of these teams at full strength as our Ed Werder is in Seattle with the latest on some of these key injuries.
Yeah, Sam, let's talk about Matt Hasselbeck's old team. Pete Carroll, unsure which of his 3 injured running backs will play today. Starter Chris Carson and the others will be worked out before the game in advance of a decision. The same planned for safety Jamal Adams, who, despite missing 3 games with a groin injury, remains tied for the team lead in sacks. One thing about which the Seahawks head coach is certain is this: not even Russell Wilson can expect to win without protecting the football. Not with Seattle having the worst defense in NFL history through 6 games. When I asked Carroll his priorities against the 49ers today, he started right there saying, we have to take care of the football. When we give up the football, it's hard to win. Wilson threw 3 interceptions against the Cardinals last week in the Seahawks' first loss of the season, but he has a 31-8 record coming off a loss as he is today. That's the best among NFL quarterbacks in the Super Bowl era. The last time the Seahawks lost 2 straight games, the end of last season, to the Cardinals and then the Niners. The Seahawks are, Sam, 5-1, as you know, and Carroll believes help is coming for his defense, telling me there's no question we're going to turn the corner. We just have to hang in there until we get all our guys playing together.
Yeah, Ed, it's still so weird to say. I mean, even just saying it myself that the Seahawks defense is bad just sounds weird, especially under Pete Carroll. But when you look at this game, we know that it's been close the last few years. But if you just look at the 2 teams playing, especially early on in this season, the Seahawks have been the much better team. So, Teddy, how can the Niners win this game today?
And you got to take advantage of that defense, Sam, and because, I mean, what this season has shown me is that we really have to reassess, like, the stereotypes of certain teams across the league or certain units, and one is the Seattle Seahawks defense. This is no longer the Legion of Boom. There is no boom anymore back there. And yes, the worst in NFL history in terms of yards allowed, but there's one thing that's saving them, and that's forcing turnovers. And that's the biggest stat we can all agree on, is forcing turnovers defensively. But if you don't do it, now you're living dangerously, because now you're just moving the ball up and down the field. And that's the way you've got to see it if you're Jimmy Garoppolo. Take care of the football, trust the call, take a profit where you can take it. You take care of this football, you'll be able to move the ball up and down on a bad defense.
You know, I really think they're going to miss a guy like Deebo Samuels, because everything that he did behind the line of scrimmage. You put a tape together, Brew, talking about how he's forcing, how he's crack blocking. He does a lot of things for them. But I want to send a shout out to their wide receiver coach, Wes Welker, old teammate of mine. Wes done some things that I could not do, but he leads to San Francisco in my favorite category, yak yards. I want to introduce y'all to the Yak Boys, ladies and gentlemen. Wes Welker, what's up with you, man? First play, Brandon Ayuk. Yak Boys are here, ladies and gentlemen, going up to Seattle. Right there, just being able to put the ball in their hands. I said for the last couple of weeks that the head coach has been protecting Jimmy Garoppolo offensively. Why? Because of an offense like this and the players in it. As you can see, I said the Yak Boys being able to get the ball into his playmaker's hand. Boy, I saved the best for last. Mr. George Kittle is part of the Yak Boys. He makes up the Yak Boys. Yes, they're going to miss a guy like Deebo Samuels, but when you have a guy like this, arguably the best tight end in the National Football League, will they miss some plays and some blocks on the outside from Deebo Samuel? Of course they will. But like I said, man, with this wide receiver core and what they league the National Football League, man, yards after the catch, as a D coordinator, as a defender, you do not want to play an offense that leads the National Football League. And Yak, tonight, the Seattle Seahawks defense, they got their work cut out for them against this.
Yeah, Randy hit it on the head. No wonder. I mean, that gives this team a great chance to win. Another reason is their defense. Sam, you talked about it earlier, that this 49er defense is playing exceptionally well, especially the last couple of weeks. But unfortunately today, this is about matchups. Their cover 3 sting defense concepts don't work against Russell Wilson and company. I'm expecting a shootout, man. Whatever it is, it's going to be way up there. In other words, take the over. I have no idea what it is, but I don't like the defenses. Brew, you talked about it, the worst in the history of the league. Seattle, and now this one. It's just a style matchup. expect a lot of points to be scored today.
Yeah, and this week in practice for the Seattle Seahawks, the points of emphasis have been two things. First off, every sign in that building says this: it's all about the ball. It's all about getting turnovers and protecting the football, and that's why they lost. That's why they lost last week to Arizona. The second thing, though, is third down emphasis. This offense has actually been worse than their defense on third down, and their defense is 25th in the league. So those two things, points of emphasis for the Seahawks this week, and they're going to have to do it. They're banged up at the running back position, so I think they're going to do it through the air. But Russell Wilson and company, they at least know what the marching orders are.
Yeah, if you're right and they do it through the air, like Rex said, it becomes a shootout. I think naturally on paper you'd be like, well, that favors Russell Wilson. But last week got into a shootout, and that actually ended up favoring Kyler Murray at the end of the game. And from that game, I mean, there were some bright spots for the Seahawks, but you've got to look at the DK Metcalf play when you're talking about bright spots in a loss in overtime. We all saw that crazy play last week by DK after Budda Baker intercepted Russell Wilson. He came out of nowhere. It's still unbelievable to watch. And you know Budda didn't see it coming.
Respect. Oh, so he does now.
Awesome. Yeah, he does.
There
yes,
he is.
He does. Should have looked up at the scoreboard. It's time for top 5 takedown tackles. Randy, start us off.
2015 Falcons bunt. Quan Alexander kicks off Matt Ryan. Man number 11, is that number 11 in Atlanta Falcons jersey coming to get you, Quan? Don't keep turning your head. It's just going to go. Hey, man, between that and the Metcalf play, man, two great plays by two great players.
Hey, last season, Titans-Raiders, balls tip, Mo Hurst, the former Zavarian brothers running back turn, Michigan nose tackle turn, Oakland Raider, now Las Vegas Raider, but wait, meet Mr. Tannehill. Ryan Tannehill.
2005 AFC Divisional Round. I was there for this one. Tom Brady throws a pick that's intercepted by Champ Bailey. Bailey takes it down the sideline. He's gone.
Get him, Ben.
It's over. It's a touchdown.
Come on.
Here comes Ben Watson.
Let's go,
all
Georgia.
the way from the other side of the field. Ben gets it back to 1 yard. He fumbled through the end zone. That was a touchback.
Man, I want to send a shout out to the state of Minnesota. Zimmerman High School's Cameron Morey break through the line. Nobody else to beat.
Nobody's
but
there.
what St. Cloud's Cathedral's goal.
No.
Who comes off the bench? Man, I didn't know who they come off the bench to make that play. Morey was awarded the touchdown, but number 44, Brad, come off the bench to tackle my man.
You can't beat that, but I'm going to try it. 1994 Saints versus the Cowboys. Troy Aikman is intercepted by Darian Connor. But watch Larry Allen. Are you kidding me? 6'4", 340 plus pounds. That's absolutely scary. My goodness. Larry Allen, one of the best that ever did it.
And a great bench press, too.
700 pounds
I feel like you
bench
need
press.
a breather after that. Time to make some game picks and look at our standings. Rex, I think the day has come.
Please, can we focus on this? Where is it? Go ahead and show. Who's the leader?
All right.
Guys,
Rex
I'm not going to bet my house, but I'm betting your house on these picks.
No.
I'm trying to do it for the fans.
I'd be in first if I stopped picking the Cowboys, okay?
No, well, I tried to tell you to do that since week 1, and you didn't listen. Let's get to the Cowboys and the Eagles. I was going to say somebody's got to win, but I guess the Eagles could tie again. So who are you taking in this NFC East matchup?
With all the injuries going on offensively for the Eagles, they still have some hope in wide receiver Fulgham and Carson Wentz's chemistry. I think they're going to be the key today. I'm going with the Eagles.
Man, I'm telling you what, I'm so excited about this game. Danucci is the reason I'm going to take this one right here. Here's some great shots of Danucci right here. You look good, kid. Oh, here's a nice play. You're going to see a couple of them. Oh, my goodness. Dude, if the Philadelphia Eagles can't beat a third-string quarterback, whether it's Danucci or Gary Hogaboom or whoever the heck it is, they don't deserve it. So I'm going to take the Philadelphia Eagles in this one. Danucci, if you win, I owe you an apology, young man.
I still recognize solid players in Philadelphia.